Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 15 of the Counting Stitches podcast. My name is Bianca. I am Dutch girl. You can find me on Ravelry as Bianca SCH, on Instagram as Jeopardize with an H after the J, because apparently I don't do anything easy. And yeah, this is my little corner of the internet where I talk about knitting, crochet. Sometimes I go off on a tangent. It's just easy space, right? So, in this episode, I have for you one finished object, which is kind of a big one for me. She's over there. I have two new cast stones, some new yarn, a new book, and some new crochet hooks. Well, new to me crochet hooks. I will put it properly. And there's actually some new yarn instead of thrift store yarn in this round. So that's a first. Well, it's rare. Let's put it like that. It isn't the first already. So let's start with my finished object. I'm not wearing it because I still need to take measurements and stuff because I'm making this one into a pattern. This is the sweater I was originally making for my mom. It came out smaller than intended. This is Jane. Yeah, folded neckband, which could have been wider, so I might just size this down and figure out if I can make it work for the size I intended it for. There is some folk smocking on here, and it's on a hanger because I wanted to show you. I will say now that I've washed it, it did relax a little, so it grew, hence why I need to measure it properly. Yeah, folk smoking to about waist height, and then just normal stitching and wide band to give it some retro vintage feel. I think it works. There are some good pictures on my Instagram. I will take proper pictures someday, but I haven't been up to it yet because I was away for a weekend. So before I started on this one, I got some tips from Nico from Crow and Finch, for whom I do some testing every now and then. I've been one of their testers on and off for I think close to 2 or 3 years now. I started with the first lockdowns during COVID, so that's fun. Learned a lot. Still learning a lot. I like it like that. Yeah. So I actually took notes now. As I just mentioned, I'm Dutch. I'm just looking at the cat because she's getting chased by her brother, and it might evolve into quite the thing. But he seems distracted, so it's fine. I do most of my knitting with English patterns. Up till now, only one of the patterns I've tested was a Dutch pattern. So I work with a lot of English terminology. And my notes kind of reflect that. It's a mix match of Dutch and English abbreviations. I don't really know what you call it. I know what the word is. I know what to spell it. I can't say it. So, yeah. So I need to just put it into a document, properly write it down, and then I got a spreadsheet from a website that will help you grade stuff, apparently, because I don't do that well with numbers. So I'm hoping that will make it easier on me. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. Sometimes I get pictures in my head, but I have difficulty working them out. My dress was one of the first things, and it's turning out pretty good. So I tried it with this one. The dress, by the way, doesn't have a name. I'm just calling it the dress. But yeah, long sleeved sweater. I'm hoping to do some more summery stuff because temperature's going up, luckily. Yeah. Took notes so I can easily convert them. No reverse engineering for me. So thank you, Nico. And thank you, past me, for remembering to do it. Because the ADHD brain sometimes goes like, oh, shiny new thing, let's do this. And then forgets to back it up. Yeah. So I'm taking notes. Anyone who can guess why it's called Jane? Like I said, vintage inspired, high waistline and wider bands. I'm gonna leave that one. So yeah, I really enjoyed knitting on it. I started it, I think, midway through February, March. I think I showed the start on the previous podcast. I'm not entirely sure, but I think I had started it by then, so it might have taken me like a month to finish this. I did expect way more frogging than I had to do. Then again, it is a little small, but that isn't the end of the world. It fits me. My mom would fit in it, but she doesn't enjoy the tighter neckband, so I'm working on a version 2, maybe with not a folded collar. There we go. To make it easy on her. So yeah, one last peek. There you go. I finished it on the train to my best friend because we went to see Daniel Gillis from the originals at Facts in Ghent, which is from my hometown is quite the journey from her city by car, because I do everything with public transportation. From her house it's 2 hours nearly. So, and for Americans that isn't too much. Take into account I get motion sickness. I don't enjoy car rides that much, but it was fun. Got to see my publisher, bought a new book, bought this tiny owl because I have this thing with owls. Yeah, so I finished that on the train, and I had brought yarn to cast something new on. No, this is a yarn I got last year, and there isn't that much to see just yet. This is a bottom-up sweater. I am nearly losing some stitches. Let me fix that. There we go. So it has a rolled up hem, then some ribbing, and then I need to do just some stockinette stitches. So I knew I could do this on the train because it was just plain sailing basically. I wasn't expecting to get to the hard bit, so I didn't even bring all the other colors. I just brought the one ball and worked on it after I finished my sweater, which I cast off about an hour into the journey. So I started this, and this is from a book that I newly purchased, which is Knitting in Norwegian Sweaters. So I'm just translating that on the fly because I bought a Dutch book. Why did I get it in Dutch? Well, they offered it. I got this in a physical store actually, because my local yarn shop was open, and she had some switched up times she's open. So most times I get by there and closed. This time she was open. I was with a friend in the city, and yeah, this is it. I have done color work before, but this is new to me because you need to cut the armholes, which I didn't realize when I started this. But yeah, so you just basically you finish a tube for the body right up until the neck, and then you do the sleeves separately and you cut a hole in the side and then just sew it in somehow. I am assuming it's like sticking, which I haven't done before, so I might just need YouTube to explain that one to me. But yeah, I am pretty excited about it. Yeah, it looks like a sewn-in sleeve when I look at it. We're gonna see how it works out. Let's hope pray it doesn't unravel, because that would be sour. Yeah. I am using some yarn I got last year. I bought that with the pattern in. I bought it on King's Day at another yarn shop with a mosaic come on, mate. Crochet pattern. And I won't try mosaic knit of a crochet with good yarn. I want to do something I know, so I figured I would do something I know, not realizing I had to cut this thing. But yeah, there are 4 colors in here, so you've seen the gray, and all of this is Scheepjes Color Crafter, because that store is Scheepjes Color Crafters dealer or something like that. There's some very hot pink in there, slightly darker like petrol, and there is one that's slightly lighter. So now I'm gonna squish them all together and show them properly, instead of just poking my fingers in there, which I think will work pretty good. I like pinks. I have no issues with pink. In fact, my aunt just told me, "Oh, this is the second pink sweater you finished," and I was like, well, guess so, because my flax was also pink. Yeah, and she remembered it because I worked on it while I was there. Well, bad news, I am gonna make another pink sweater because I don't care. So this is Scheepjes Color Crafter Eelde, which will be a contrast color that I need to use very sparingly, because I have 1 ball of this. This is Verviers, which I have 3 of. Then we have Dordrecht, which I have 2 of, and Hilversum, which really doesn't match my wall. Yeah, I also have 2 of these. Did I just say I have 2 of the gray? I have 3 of the gray because I'm already using 1. So yarn gets put to use, not just in storage. I'm learning not to be afraid to just use stuff. I guess everyone has it, right? They're proper yarn they don't want to use for just about anything. Yeah. I'm using 3.5 and 4.5 needles for the sweater, which I, for the love of God, can't remember the name of. I know it's the original name of Pocahontas. Can't remember the other thing. Matuaka. So by the end I might remember that. Yeah, I really don't have that much this month, even though I'm a little late. But that's kind of my tradition right now, right? I'm always late because I can't plan. So another cast on, which is nearly finished, by the way. few years back I got yarn from my aunt. Not on my dad's side, but my mom's side. My mom has a lot of sisters, we don't see them a lot. But one of my aunts, her mother-in-law had passed away, and she was a knitter. I believe she had Alzheimer's, so she just had some discount yarn, which I grew up with, so you see me working with this one a lot. But mostly open balls, you know, and I had to air it out because it smelled like smoke. But my plan was to make something for my aunt with it. So I wanted to make a blanket at first. Then again, I wanted something she could use regularly, and well, I made a granny cocoon shrug. I'm making it basically. I started this before I went to my friend, but I only had like 10 rows left, so I didn't want to bring 2 big projects on a trip, hence the new cost. So I started with all the colors that I had very little left of. So there is some pink in there, and the green is carried throughout. I have about 1.5 ball left of that one. So, and there's some darker pinks, and then we have yellow, gray, and I thought I had more of the gray, so my intention was to carry the gray up. Turned out I didn't have more gray, and the idea is to get more yarn out than goes in. My mom gave me her entire stash, so I'm not doing that well at this point. So I continued with the green, and then once it was done, this pattern has you seam up the corners, like just folding it in half like this. You seam up the corners and you leave some space for your arms, and then you do some single crochets, US terminology, or doubles if you're in the UK, which I have done on this sleeve with some gray I have lying around from my uncle's sweater, because I felt it needed some contrast. So I'm doing 7 instead of 5, as Bagaudet suggests. I also think she uses another pattern for her square altogether, but you know, the idea is the same. You just can disappear into it. And my aunt is a tiny lady. Pushing you back. So I need to weave in all the ends. But yeah. It also needs to be washed, and once I know this yarn will relax a little once it's washed. So that won't be an issue. That's a little bit too far. You can't see where my cup of tea is though. So, there we go. So yeah, I just need to do the other arm and then do the neckband, maybe add a button so she can close it. My aunt is a little smaller than I am, like about 2 inches, maybe a little more. So she'll just fit in here fine. She can just, once she's really cold, disappear like this gremlin. So yeah, I'm using a 4mm crochet hook for a loftier fabric. I would have gone up, even though I don't like bigger needles. But I wanted something with a little more warmness in there to isolate her. Insulator? Insulator. Isolate is something else. Insulate. So yeah. I'm finishing up this probably today. By the time we're doing May? Yeah, it's April. We're doing May. It's probably gone. I would have taken it to her house already. Because she's on the route to the shops. So she's basically like 10 minutes from here. Yeah, those were all my things. I'm doing a test for a blanket. I'm not showing it because it's still way tiny. It has had a deadline for February 16th originally. I had some issues getting in contact with the designer. Did it through the Facebook group that hosts us. Took another 2 weeks for me to get the pattern. By then it was my birthday, and I had a lot of things going on. I have the pattern ready to go. I just need to motivate myself to do it. So I compromised with myself. Once the cardi is, well, the cocoon shrug is ready, I'm gonna finish it. At least this part, because this is part 2 we're doing. And I'm not sure I enjoy that. Just give me the entire pattern and let me just go. I don't enjoy getting it in parts. So we did part 1. Part 1 is like this big. I now have part 2. Yeah, it's a lacy pattern. The lace is fine. No major issues up to now. But then again, with like what, 8 rows, you can't really go wrong yet. So I'm doing that. I'm showing it. I'm gonna show it when I have more of it. Like, I don't wanna. I really don't wanna. Yeah. So other than that, I have no plan. I will write up Jane. I had some people who offered to test it for me, which is amazing because I have never designed a sweater in my life before. It's also terrifying. Utterly terrifying. But yeah, I'm doing this. I'm committed. So we're gonna give it a go. You ready for some yarn? Let's start with some mystery yarn, which it's gonna be crinkly. I got it my volunteer work. I'm not taking it out of wrapper. I'm that scared it will tangle around itself. It is this really fine glittery thing. And I have about 16 of them. So I have a vague idea what I want to do with it. I'm just terrified to start because I'm gonna need like a 1.5 millimeter or 1.25 millimeter to work with this and make it look pretty, or I'm gonna have to either do something really loose gauged. And right now the really tiny needles are more appealing than going big. You can even do lace on really tiny. I might get carbons for it. So I'm just puzzling with this in my head. I need to cake them up at some point because they are in those little twisty thingies. I'm gonna pull out one for you. Excuse the crinkle. I'm gonna do it fast. So yeah, they're tiny. This is it. And so the yardage on this is going to be tiny as well. But it is something that gives off a vintage vibe, which I totally enjoy. It's going to give these little sticky pivots, which is going to be fun as well. So yeah, I'm gonna do something with this. I found it at the bin at my work, and the manager put $2.50 on it. I'm complaining. Even if I mess this up, it's not gonna be a big deal. I am gonna take the cocoon shrug off my lap because it's hot. So yeah, got this probably like first 2 weeks, somewhere around that time of March. Fun. I also got crochet hooks with that, which is kind of a thing, you know, because crochet hooks come in all the time. Knitting needles, the old-fashioned ones, like just this one, like straight needles, they come in so much. And with crochet hooks you get the metal ones, like the old-fashioned, you call them Susan Boyles and stuff, like just the metal ones. I have no issues with that. I have loads of those. I even get gifted old needles from like somebody's great grandmother, but someone brought in soft grips, and not just one, they got the entire set, which, you know, I've been working with the metal ones. I also have some cheap ass crochet hooks from Wish, on which the grip just peels off and gets sticky. But these are proper ones. Like, I was so happy when I found them. And they go from 2 to 6. So, and they haven't changed shape. They are not in the shape of the person who used it, and I'm happy. I'm really happy. So, they are not the most expensive ones. I think they came from a local store, judging by what they look like. But then again, I'm not entirely sure. And they put €2 on it for me. Like normally a knitting needle or a crochet hook is like 25 cents each, which I was fully prepared. Like 25 cents, and I'm like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's like what, €2 something? No, 8, like 25 each. Man, math. I don't care. I was prepared to pay either way. I'm happy. I'm so happy. I haven't used them yet because I already started the thing, and I don't switch them up because you never know if they are exactly the same. So for the next one, I'm using it. So, and then I got some new yarn with the book at the same day. I'm not gonna use them together, but I got them. And I have worked with this brand before. They put it on a discount on the regular there. So I made a top with this, which I tested for Paulina, and she's from Corin Finch, by the way, Paulina. And I made, I tested so many of her patterns that I can't remember the name. And they all have people sounding names, right? The one with the cables is Simonette. I think she was Roxanna. I'm gonna check it and I will leave it in the description. Because so yeah, this is a Bordeaux de Patsy Amorin 350, which is a fully recycled yarn. Made in Italy. It's recycled merino. Let me just scooch to the center. It's 50 grams, about 350 meters, or 1.7 ounces, 382 yards. It is 70% wool, 25 polyamide, 2% viscose, 2% acrylic, and 1% polyester. Which is fine. It is a really, really fine yarn, which I enjoy. I'm gonna be honest, I enjoy it. You are supposed to work on it with a 2.5 or a 3 millimeter knitting needle, which is a USA 102, or basically same size as crochet hook. So This is gonna be something without sleeves. I have 4 of them, so I have 1400 meters, which technically is enough for something with sleeves, but we're doing something without sleeves. Summery top. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta sniff it. And with new yarn, I have less scruples on sniffing yarn than with thrift store yarns, because sometimes you sniff it and it came from a smoker. So yeah. That's all, really. Haven't worked on my Christmas tree shawl. Haven't worked on the shawl I found, which I can't even remember. It's on my dressing form right now, so it's in view, so I can just pick it up. Yeah. Nothing. I was a good girl. Didn't buy too much. Didn't go crazy on cast-ons. So yeah, just an easy thing. I am organizing the yarn. I bought a 60-liter tub to put stuff in. I need another because my mom needed space and gave me her entire stash. Save the cotton because she loves working with cotton. Yeah. So the pink yarn for the new sweater comes from her as well. We wanted to do projects, and the project didn't get started. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get started on writing the pattern. I have the document marked. I have the layout in my head. I just need to sit down and actually do the thing, which is the biggest thing around here. Just do the thing. But yeah, that's all I have for you this month. It's a short one, I know. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I go off on a tangent, and we're over here for nearly an hour. But this time I'm on best behavior. Weather was nice. Sun is out. I just really want to finish some stuff. Yeah. Hope everyone is well. I hope you're enjoying the weather. If you're having good weather, that is. If not, I hope you're warm. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye bye, everyone.